Welcome to the NFL. Let's go! Let's go!
Titans fans, are you ready for some football?
Spartans! What is your profession?
Welcome to Two-Tone Blue Nation. By fans, for fans. Two-Tone Blue Nation. Organizing tailgates and events. If you're all about Tennessee Titans football, this is your podcast.
Here we go!
And here comes your hosts, Big Luke, King Cole, and Austin Hall.
Welcome in, everyone, to Two-Tone Blue Nation Talk, the podcast by fans for fans. I'm King Cole, joined today by Austin Hall, and we're going to continue our Superfan Sunday series with the one and only Mr. Preston Penn. Preston, thanks for joining us today. How you doing, buddy?
Good, buddy. Glad to be here, guys. Thank you.
Austin, how you doing today?
Just living the dream, thinking about the Titans.
Absolutely, man. Preston, we're going to start this off the same way we start off all these Superfan pods, and it's a real easy question. How did you become a Tennessee Titans fan?
Well, growing up as a football fan, you always think, man, it'd be cool to have an NFL team here because growing up in Nashville, we didn't. And you just have to watch what you get on TV, the 3 games we would get every Sunday and the Monday and everything like that. So I always said if we ever got an NFL team, I'd go to every game I could. And lo and behold, 96, they said they're moving to Tennessee. And I thought, man, this can't be real. We're actually getting an NFL team. And I'm going to be graduating college by the time they get here, or high school by the time I get here, so I can actually afford to go to games. So it worked out well that, they got here in 97. I didn't get to go to any games in Memphis, even though I'm from Memphis. And then 98, went to a couple at Vanderbilt. And then once 99 came around, I was graduated high school, was going to college, and saved up money, went to every single game. And that's kind of how I became a Titans fan.
Yeah, so that's a very similar story to some other people we've heard. You may have had another affiliation or another fandom before the Titans got here, but once the Titans got here, we all became fans of the Two-Tone Blue. Preston, your claim to super fandom is your incredible collection of all Titans memorabilia. I mean, you've got everything. It seems like you've got hundreds of game-worn jerseys, cleats, helmets, you name it, and it seems like you've got it. I'm not going to ask you what your secret is, but I do have plenty of other questions. And I'll start off with this. When did you start collecting memorabilia?
Well, I started doing, like a lot of kids, I collected football cards and baseball cards, and it was just kind of cool. Like, okay, now we actually have a team, and I was in college, and you could get cards of Eddie George, Steve McNair, then you could go to a training camp and get them autographed, or go to a game or whatever, and then it helps you. It helps kids connect, especially younger than us, connect to the athletes because they can look on the back and see the stats and everything. Of course, they can pull it up online now, but when we were kids, you really couldn't. You didn't. Dates me a little bit, but we didn't really have internet until I was in high school. So, you couldn't pull up stats like you could now, but you could look on the back of the card and say, Eddie George had this many rushing touchdowns in college. And it just helped you. It helped kids really learn about the players beyond just watching the games and gave them something to collect and trade. And that's kind of how I got started.
Absolutely, man. I'm right there with you with that. I'm a little bit younger than you, but I remember, in school, had a lot of people collecting Pokemon cards, and I never really got into that. I was into Topps and Upper Deck football cards. If I got a rookie card, that to me was exciting. I would go to the practices as well there at was it Baptist Sports Park back in the day, and try to get the card signed as well. Do you remember the first item in your collection or the first cool piece of memorabilia that you've got?
God, I'm trying to think. About 10 years ago, I started doing the graphic design thing, just screwing around with it, and completely taught myself. I need to take a class or something, but I started messing with it. And gave Kenny Britt a couple. He said, man, that looks cool. And I'm thinking, he's just screwing with me. It looks like crap. And I thought it looked like crap. Compared to what I do now, it looks like crap. But he's like, can you get me some more? And I'm thinking, God, he really feels sorry for me. So I just kept going. That's like, you know what? I'm going to learn to do this a little better. But I started thinking outside the box and what could I do to do differently without having a real Photoshop-esque program. So I started trying to figure out some different things. And then I started asking. So I found out that they have to get charged for the jersey. So I said, Kenny, can I get one of your jerseys? He goes, yeah, just pay me back. I said, okay. So I went, this is the first time I actually went through his marketing agency. This is the one that Fisher, if you remember, he had gotten Pac-Man hooked up with it. And Pac-Man, his agent was mad about it because they were basically telling Pac-Man how to spend his money because Pac-Man really didn't have the best judgment, we'll say that. And they were trying to keep him from making more mistakes than he did. And they did the same thing with Kenny Britt. A lot of Fisher's guys, and it was Fisher's marketing people also, but they basically just used the same person. And that's how I went through that. And when I went to pick the jersey up, they said they had somebody out there to greet me, and it was Jeff Fisher. And, of course, I'd met him countless times at games, but they told him who I was, and we were just talking. They, thanked me for being a fan and said it's a cool jersey, stuff like that. I've always liked him, but that was cool to be able to actually just approach it from a different angle.
Yeah, no doubt. That's a really cool story. I know one of my favorite experiences is meeting Kevin Byard at one of the practices. It had actually was raining that day, so not a lot of people were there. And, they left because of the rain. And sure enough, it was me and maybe a group of 5 people. And Kevin Byard was out there signing autographs. And he spoke to each one of us individually and just talked about anything and everything. That was one of my favorite experiences, meeting a player. What's another experience besides the Kenny Britt?
Man, I've got countless. I got to think of a good one. But as long as y'all weren't the ones that were asking him if a hot dog was a sandwich or not, I guess we're good. Because I remember that specifically the first couple of days. They go, Kevin, I got a question. I'm thinking, oh God, what they're going to ask him? And they go, is a hot dog a sandwich? And I'm thinking, of all the things you could ask him, that like, all right, cool. And I was like, I don't even want to hear the answer because I don't know what the answer is because it's a good question. But as far as just different experiences I've had, I mean, I've had a lot of cool things that I've been able to do that, not to say that nobody has, but a lot of people haven't. Like, I'm still pretty good friends with Tommy Campbell that played here for 3 years. And after one of the games, we were talking like over time about playing Madden. I'm thinking, man, I suck at Madden. I hadn't played Madden since high school, so I'm going to get my ass beat if I play this game. So we kept talking, and I'm like, he posted on my Facebook wall like that Monday before, he goes, hey, I'm going to get you a Madden this week. And I say, okay, whatever. So then after the game, he's like, hey, here's my address. I'll see you about this time. So I went over there. We hung out, me, him, his cousin, and Tommy's oldest kid. And we were talking about the game. And it was the Lions game because Tommy had the real good return. And there's the Nate Washington catch game where he caught that incredible catch he had. But I played Madden, and I did get beat by about 5 or 6 touchdowns. So it was pretty embarrassing. But I had a good time. It was cool.
Oh yeah, that's pretty amazing. Especially, I mean, playing Madden with a Titans player, a team you look up to. I mean, yeah, that's crazy.
And not even just playing Madden, but going to his house and playing there, in person. I was thinking when you were telling the story, you're gonna hook up online and play him, but no, man, going to the crib, kicking it with him, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, it was really cool. I mean, it was in Bellevue. It made for a late night. I was like, man, I don't care. I mean, this is what I'm going to do. Get up and go to work Monday and be tired. Okay, cool.
Absolutely, man. And quick thought on the subject since we brought it up. A hot dog is not a sandwich.
Agreed.
Okay. All right, Austin. Any takes on the hot dog stance?
Yeah, I heard this Jags fan say it was a sandwich, so that kind of makes sense now.
That means it's not for sure.
Exactly. But no, yeah, bringing up your memorabilia collection, I know you said, your first item might have been a football card or maybe a football. What is your favorite item in your collection?
God, that's tough because there's certain things that have a lot of value as far as sentimentally, and then there's certain things that are just like really unique. So it's hard to pick up one, so I'll probably go over a couple.
Oh, wow.
I guess they're all from that area. But so one of my favorite items is Darren Bates' helmet from actually the 2018 season. We talked about getting me his helmet from last year, but they basically look the same because they're the only 2 Navy helmets they've ever worn. And the only difference is one has a 100-year NFL sticker on it and one has the 20-year Titans sticker on it. He grabbed eyes that I don't care which one, but we ended up meeting up about a month after the season on a weekend in Hendersonville and just caught up for a few minutes. And, he signed the helmet for me, gave it to me, and, sitting in a case. That's one of my favorite items. I've got Derrick Henry's My Cause, My Cleats, the ones they do for charity on NFL auctions. I've got his from 2017, and I've got one of Randy Moss's Titans game jerseys. I've got Steve McNair's helmet from the MVP season that he traded with Jamal Lewis during the Pro Bowl. And Jamal, of course, is bankrupt pretty much, so he sold everything, including his helmet, that I guess one of his Browns helmets, because I met a guy in Baltimore that actually had all of it.
Man, so that would to me would be the crown jewel is the Steve McNair MVP helmet. Not to take away from anything else that you've got because it's all crazy, man. But that's definitely got to be the crown jewel. So
it's got to be, yeah. I'd say it's one of the top 3 or 4. And I mean, another thing is the Vince Young helmet, the throwback helmet. The only thing I'm still looking for to be crazy is a Tennessee Oilers helmet of a really good player, or even Houston Oilers of like McNair or Eddie. But that's probably buried in someone's collection or storage locker. We'll never see it.
Yeah, and that's what I was getting ready to lead into is, do you have a checklist or a list of things that you would like to add to your collection?
Yeah, and most of it's goofy stuff. Most of it like a Tank Williams jersey, a Donald Mitchell jersey. I mean, getting down to just obscure guys that I talk to, fairly regularly that I would like to get. I mean, it's not even like I want another McNair jersey. I would rather have a Tank Williams jersey than another McNair because I've got a couple. I mean, it's just guys that I really like that you just don't see their stuff very often. And, like Carl Pickens, Eric Moulds, just completely random. Perry Phoenix, you know what I mean? Just random guys that are just like, why the hell? I'd literally be the only person who would want them. Anthony Dorsett. I mean, that's a big one. I've never seen a Dorsett Titans. I've seen the Dorsett Raiders, but never a Dorsett Titans.
Yeah, you're getting into some real obscure guys that, only the diehard guys can remember. But yeah, that's definitely, I understand that. That's, you want the unique, the rare, the things that most people don't have.
Yeah, that, and we all connect with the underdog. Well, a lot of people, I mean, it's easy to say who your favorite player is. Oh, it's McNair. Oh, that's an easy answer. It's like the people that say that Brady's their favorite player. Well, God, that's a tough one to pick. I mean, mine's always been the guy that's not that I don't ever pick the person that everybody else picks. Like Darren Bates is probably one of my favorite players. David Fluellen. I've liked Flu a long time. I mean, people give me hell for like, oh yeah, Flu sucks. He shouldn't be on the team. Well, because Jeremy McNichols is better. So where's Jeremy McNichols now?
We've noticed that you obviously collect autographs, footballs, helmets, everything you can get your hands on Titan. But also you've met your fair share of celebrities. Any cool stories of meeting anyone from Hollywood?
Well, one day, it's funny. One day I was actually I worked downtown for like the last decade until about 2 years ago. And there was a comedy tour that came, and I was like, it'd be cool to meet Adam Sandler, but whatever. We'll be able to get anywhere close to him. So we're sitting there. I'm downtown, and somebody tells me, said, hey, Adam Sandler's staying at the Hermitage. They're about to leave. And I'm thinking, oh, God, whatever. Okay. I'm about to take a lunch. What the hell? I'll go down there. So I walk down there, and sure enough, I see 5 limos. And I'm looking, and I'm like, okay, there's somebody in that one. I don't recognize that person. Oh, there's David Spade. Okay. And then I'm looking, I keep walking. I'm like, and there's Adam sitting in the freaking passenger seat of another side. I'm like, what's the worst I can do? So I was like, hey, Adam, can I get a picture? He goes, sure, buddy, come over. And I'm like, oh my God, that's cool. So I got to talk to Adam Sandler for a second, and then went back to work, and I told people, hey, Doug, I met Adam Sandler. And they're like, you shut up, you're stupid. And I'm like, no, seriously. They go, you photoshopped that. I said, in 2 minutes, like none of my phone. It's like, I'm not that good. So they're like, oh, that's cool. So I told them a story, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So I mean, I've met a lot of people. Adam Sandler, that's the first one that came off the top of my head. But Peyton Manning, I met him at a Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame dinner. Of course, Randy Moss, as I mentioned earlier. I mean, Garth Brooks. I've met some pretty cool people. I mean, Titans is where I really. It's cool to see celebrities and stars from other areas that are not Titans as well. But at the same time, the Titans is mine and y'all's focus, and most of us that are listening's focus.
Right. Yeah, and not gonna lie, meeting Adam Sandler would be like one of my top celebrities to ever meet. That is awesome. And I know at the Denver Broncos game last year in Denver, we were down close to the field. Our seats were down close to the field, and Peyton Manning walked out the tunnel. Just I believe it was like a Denver Broncos homecoming game, and he just walks out of the tunnel onto the field, and I was starstruck just seeing him from 200 feet away. So I couldn't imagine meeting him like you did.
And the only time I've ever been starstruck, my favorite athlete ever is Penny Hardaway. I mean, more than any other athlete. And I mean, I was like a teenage girl meeting Justin Bieber when I met Penny Hardaway. I was probably embarrassing, but I mean, I didn't get nervous with Adam Sandler. It was just, at this point, I got no fear. But when I met Penny Hardaway, I was like, oh my God, this is like the player I've idolized for 20 years. And I'm finally getting to actually talk to him. This is like,
and Penny Hardaway is a Memphis guy, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. Sure is.
So you said you grew up in Memphis, so that's how you met him?
Well, grew up here, but we originally from Memphis. We moved here when I was 3, but we basically, I mean, I go back to Memphis a bunch to see family and everything, but I met him actually at the first time Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame. He was inducted, I think, in 2013, and we went to it, and my buddies and I did, and I got to meet him and got to get a picture with him, and I've seen him a few times since then at different charity events, like they would have Memphis alumni basketball games in Memphis that I've gotten to know a couple of the players over the years, and they put stuff together, and they set it up to where I could go meet Penny and talk to him for a minute. I mean, it's been pretty cool. I mean, that's the only one time I ever really got nervous. Past then, it's like I can meet, the president could come up to me and be like, okay, hey, well, depending on how someone swings politically, you know what I mean? Just anybody in general could come up to me, and I'm not really going to be nervous. It's just talking to them like I'm talking to you or a family member, friend, coworker, whatever.
Yeah,
there are people too.
Understand. Yeah, absolutely.
So I've got no shame in saying this. I do get starstruck from time to time. And it's not really from guys that are currently on the team. Like if I were to see Derrick Henry or Ryan Tannehill, a guy like that, it's not as big a deal to me. But when I get an opportunity to meet the guys that I grew up watching, Kevin Dyson, Frank Wycheck, Eddie George, I actually met Zach Pillar one day and didn't realize I was talking to Zach Pillar until we were about 10 minutes deep in conversation, and then I immediately got awkward and nervous. And he was a super cool guy, but no shame in saying I get starstruck with those guys. The Adam Sandler story, I was actually going to try to bring that up because, like Austin said, if I had one celebrity that I could meet, it would be Adam Sandler. Man, everything he touched back in the day was gold.
For somebody as talented as he is, I mean, there's a lot of people that are celebrities that, well, I mean, they know they're the best things in sliced bread. They know how great they are, and because they're told 1,000 times a day how great they are. But for Adam Sandler to treat me like a normal, like he's just like I'm $1 million, or you know what I mean. It's for him to treat me that well, and he didn't even know me. That was pretty cool. I mean, it's just kind of neat to, because he could have just as easily been, rude and hateful and like, man, I don't want my picture with you. Shut up, But he was cool, and just for somebody of that magnitude and stardom to be that cool was pretty awesome. It's pretty surprising too, because a lot of people that are that big name are not.
Yeah, man, that's cool, and that's really nice of Adam to be that way with fans, because I know a lot of people really look up to him. Changing gears, going to get back onto the football scene a little bit. Our group, Two Tone Blue Nation, we follow you on Twitter, and you're one of our favorite Twitter follows just because of the content you put out. You're a pretty interesting guy, and one thing that we've noticed that we've really appreciated seeing is that you started doing giveaways and fundraisers and things like that to kind of help other people out and just kind of do something positive for somebody else. So kudos to you for that. When did you start doing this, and how often do you do it?
I started doing the giveaways sometime last summer. I thought, man, it'd be cool because I've got so much of this crap I'm never going to be able to get rid of. I've just got stuff that's in boxes and, from games that we've gotten, just the giveaways and stuff. And it's stuff that you don't want to sell because it's a giveaway. And it's like you see people that are selling giveaways. That's kind of crappy. But then you don't want to throw it away. You don't want to give it to Goodwill. But it's like I want to give it away and do something cool. So I engage it to people that – and it really is geared more toward hopefully people that can't go to games that – they get something that, they have a chance to win something, like a hat that's a giveaway you can only get at the game. And then they get their number drawn. Every single person that's ever won something has been really grateful. Most of it has been out-of-state Titans fans. That's the cool part because someone's getting something from the stadium that may never be able to go to the game here and may hope to, but it may be years before they get there. And there's their way to kind of feel like they're part of this whole puzzle also. And it's just as far as the raising the money thing, I think – if you're in a position to help people out and be blessed enough to do so, I feel like you should do it. Regardless of circumstances, I feel like I've been blessed enough to be able to be creative and market in a way to where I can raise money to, whether it's for tornado relief or for, which Vincent Love and I did a great job, I think, getting a couple $1,000s, and he raised some money on his own as well. But just to continue to do that with the Corona victims, and I've got something else planned in the next week or so that I'm going to do an auction style on a couple items to raise some more money. My goal is to hit 5,000 total, and I'm at about 3,200 or 3,300 rather that I've raised between the two raffles and the Corona raffle.
So, all right, we'll let you talk a little bit more about that. If somebody that's listening to this wants to donate or wants to help out with your cause, how would they go about doing that?
They just watch for me to do my next auction. I'm going to try to find a couple different things that I can auction off. I've already got 2 or 3 things I'm going to auction off, and I'm probably going to do $10 increments just because it's going to be easier for me to keep up with, and 1 or 2 items at a time versus having – I had to mail out. Honestly, I spent about $100 on postage, and some of the great people that won donated money to help out to reimburse me for postage, because all I wanted to be reimbursed for postage. I don't want to make money. Obviously, this money's all going toward a good cause, but I mean, it's nice to have that come out of other people to help out, and it's a lot of work too to have to carry all that stuff in. The people behind me at the post office looked like they wanted to shoot me or like I had corona or something. I mean, they were mad, but I mean, but the cool thing is I mean, it all that stuff is going to like Pennsylvania. It's going to Illinois. I mean, I sent something to California. I've sent stuff to Texas. I mean, there's probably 9 or 10 different states that people that did the raffle had won, and I had to send stuff to them. But it takes time to package it up. It takes time to take the pictures and to keep up. And every time somebody donates, I've got it on my notepad. I go in and write down what numbers they get, send them to them, and I'm keeping a running tally of it, so I know that I can send it to my friend that does the random.org drawings. So I make sure I'm as organized as possible, because I don't want anybody to feel like they got screwed or I did something improper or whatever. And I'm going to do it the right way. And even if it takes a little longer, I'd rather do it that way. But this will be a little bit easier to keep up with, because it's going to be, I can put a picture of something and say, okay, it's $10 increment starting at $20 or whatever. And then people just respond to the thread, and it's a lot less to mail out, but it's also going to help go to a good cause. It's going to be some nicer items.
Very cool. Hey, real quick, what is your Twitter handle for those listening right now that don't follow you on Twitter? That way they can follow you.
Awesome. I appreciate it, guys. It's The Real Press 10. It's TheRealPres10. And I'll make sure to tweet this out as soon as you guys post a link, and I'll definitely spread the word, because I appreciate you guys having me on. This is fun. I hadn't done anything like this in a while.
Hey, man, it wouldn't be a super fan Sunday without Preston Penn on the podcast. So I feel like most people who have gone to a Titans event or a Titans game, even if they don't know you, they've at least seen you, man. I know I see you all the time. We were actually, I don't know if you realize this, we were actually standing right behind you in line for the garage sale this past year.
I think I do, because we got there so freaking early. It was cold, and brought my girlfriend's son, and he was thrilled to get up at 3:30. He actually woke me up at 3:30 in the morning, but I mean, thrilled may not be the right answer, the right word, but I remember that. I remember I saw you when we were at this Titans event, the one that they had where we saw a lot of the alumni. I remember that too. And I'm trying to remember.
Music City Center.
Yes.
I think they had the Music City Miracle guys come back. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. That was the one that was actually not a cluster, because you remember the next year, or maybe the year after, they had it at Opryland, and it was chaos trying to get out of the parking lot, because everybody, you know what I mean? They had like 8,000 people, only one way out, because for some reason I think they had one of the other door things closed, or something was wrong to where literally nobody was moving. And we sat there for about 20 minutes, and I just started driving in between cars. My girlfriend's like, "You're going to kill us." I said, I'd rather not. I'd rather get out of here than not. So, I mean, we just kind of had to finagle our way out. But it's just one of those things that I asked somebody the next day, and they said they took them 3 hours to get out of there and out of the parking lot of Opry Mills, because, and that's a whole nother argument, the way they built that with only two ways in. But,
Yeah, I definitely remember that event. It was kind of we kind of life hacked that. We actually just stayed there at Opryland Hotel. We got a room there. I never stayed there. We got a room there, spent the night there. So I didn't have to worry about leaving. But getting into the event, we got there early enough, parked, no big deal. But they had everybody kind of mosh pit around these like 2 doors. There's like 6 doors there that they kept shut, and they only allowed people to go through these 2 doors. So probably not the best planned out event, but fun nonetheless.
Absolutely, yeah. It's hopefully the last time they have something like that at Opryland Hotel, just because of the difficulty to get in and out. And, even saving $25 not parking at the hotel, you parking at the mall, that was still miserable, because we were all literally trapped. I mean, it just I mean, I'm not claustrophobic, but I almost became claustrophobic that night.
Hey, to bring it back to the garage sale real quick, I know me and Garrett, we planned on being there about 3:45 or 4 a.m. thinking we'd be the first fans there. And sure enough, when we got there, we saw you and, like you said, your girlfriend's son and I believe another guy waiting there. And, just us thinking the whole night, all right, we're going to be the first ones there. We'll get all the good stuff first, which we ended up getting amazing stuff anyway. But it was crazy seeing you there already. I should have known.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's one thing I like collecting a lot. It's like it's addictive once you get to a certain point because it's cool because you get unique stuff that you can't really get anywhere else. And the cool thing is, first, second, 10th in line, the first few people are going to get all the good stuff. Oh, so if you're a Titans fan, you're listening to this, get there about 6 or 7 o'clock and not 3:30.
Exactly.
Or 8 o'clock. Maybe at 8 o'clock. When the doors open at 8 o'clock,
even better. Yeah, because we were the only people there when the doors opened. So just go ahead and show up after they open. It was just us. Sarcasm.
Hashtag sarcasm, but yes, please.
Yeah, it was definitely a competition to see who could wake up first. And Austin was actually, he was the 5th person in line, but he was kind of running late. And I got there. I was like, he's like, you got our spot saved? I was like, yeah, but I'm about 4th in line right now. He said, are you shitting me right now? I was like, yeah. I'm sitting there about 4th in line. Man, like I said, I kind of expected to run into you there. I was thinking I was going to get there before you. I was coming from Dixon, so I had to get up. Man, I felt confident, but no doubt I think we all walked away from that with a good haul, feeling happy about it, what we got.
Yeah, absolutely. I wish it was still during the draft night because it kind of spread it out to where there's more stuff going on versus this thing. It's literally just everybody comes for that. But at the draft night, it was cool because they had the sale on one area. It was spread out a lot more versus this year it was spread out well because you literally had to run a freaking lap to get over there the way it was set up.
All right, Preston, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. But before we get out of here, we finish off every one of these with some Q&A. Kind of pick your brain, a little bit more of what we've been doing. We're going to try to speed it up the pace a little bit, though, okay?
All right, let's do it.
All right. NFL team you hate the most?
Jaguars.
All right. Name one player on another team, past or present, you wish played for the Titans.
Russell Wilson. No disrespect, Ryan Tannehill.
All right. That's a good choice. I like it. Looking back at all the Titan uniform combos dating all the way back to 99, which one has been your favorite?
At first I was going to say something with light blue, but man, that Stormtrooper combination has really grown on me a lot.
Yeah, I wish we'd wear that a lot more. All right. In your mind, we touched on this earlier in the pod, but in your mind, who has been the most underrated Titans player in Titans history?
Underrated. Nate, my gut says Nate Washington. There's been a lot of guys, but Nate Washington has been really good and just doesn't get the recognition because the team was so bad for the most part through that 5-6 years he was here.
Favorite current Titans player?
Damn, I wish Darren Bates got re-signed. Man, my 3 favorite ones are no longer here. Flew, Jarrell, and Bates. Favorite right now, God, that's tough. I'm thinking probably I don't want to go Derrick Henry because that's so. I guess AJ.
Okay, so you're gonna laugh at this. You went AJ to try to not say what everybody else has said, but I think the last 4 of these we recorded, everybody said AJ.
Man, good. Hey, great minds think alike, right?
That's it. All right, so top 3 all-time Titans players. If you want, you can leave Stephen Eddy out of this because, I've had to modify this because we kept getting Stephen Eddy.
I'm going to go with 3 guys that have been really good to me that are not – you won't probably want to hear these 3 names on any on any of these lists. No disrespect to them, but you may hear Jarrell. I would say Jarrell's one for sure because you may hear Jarrell because Jarrell's been good to me. Darren Bates and – God, I need to do flip a coin here. Tie between Tommy Campbell and Alterin Verner. Both of them have been awesome to me.
Excellent. I like hearing names that we don't normally get to hear or people from the past that, they're not forgotten. We just need our memories jogged a little bit.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Two-Tone Blue Nation Talk. Preston, I want to thank you for being with us. We look forward to seeing you soon, and hopefully we can get you to one of our Two-Tone Blue Nation tailgates this year.
Absolutely, man. Thank you guys for having me a bunch. This has been a blast. And anytime you need somebody to kill 30, 40 minutes of random third string quarterbacks and running backs and receivers that you won't get anywhere else, I'm down.
Hey, man, it's been a blast. And until we meet again, take care and tighten up.
Tighten up, you guys. Stay safe. Be good.
Tighten up.
All right. See you guys.
We gotta go.
Here it comes. Football.
But you've been listening to Two-Tone Blue Nation. If it's Tennessee Titans football, it's here. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll be back soon. But until then, find us on Twitter at Two-Tone-Blue-Nat1. Find Big Luke at Two-Tone Big Luke and King Cole at Two-Tone Blue Cole. Find us on Instagram at Two-Tone Blue Nation. Till next time, Titans Nation.
Spartans! What is your profession?